They haven't got the race ready up screen, so they go straight from the first session into the race.
Of course.
Diabetics jumped in too late.
Ugh. Well,
It's
it's his fault for leaving.
past the 3 minute mark. Yeah, it's too late.
Like I said, it's his fault for leaving in the first place.
Yeah,
He knows how the game works.
He can join for the second race, for the third race. Sorry, for the final race.
Yeah.
I'll let him start at the front because I'm feeling generous. Here we are then, everybody. You join us for the second race here tonight for the World Touring Car Championship here at Motive. We are coming into the final minute of the qualifying session, the only qualifying session of the night. Currently Mike on provisional pole by nearly 0.6 of a second over Charlie Goff. But we're still yet to see what John Boy can do. Also Jay as well. We've seen so far the Mutts Nuts has gone P3, but he's not going to go quicker because he's in the pits. Team MW currently P4. Big Blue, who was one of the stars of the first race, obviously took the win in the opening race of the night. He's currently 7th in this qualifying session. Can he pull something out of the bag here on this final run? Aussie just coming through into the Craner curves. Smokey's half a second up on his personal best. You'd hope so though, because his personal best is 7 seconds off of the provisional pole time. Mike though coming through the final corner. Let's see what he can do. He's bailed, so he's not going to improve on his 109.6. It's now down to the rest of them. Team MW coming down towards that final chicane. Nick Levitta's made a mistake going through the final chicane, so that's his session done. He's not going to improve now. Jay coming up towards the line. He's had yet to set a time on the board here. What's he going to do? Jay coming over the line, and it's P3, so it's a solid lap there from Jay. What about John Boy? Where is he? He's coming up towards the line now. Can John Boy take pole from Mike? No, he can't. P4 for John Boy. They're all coming over now. Potter Brown stays P13. Smokey goes into 12th. Pushes Potter Brown down a position. Aussie Albie came over. He was P10. And he moved up to P6. So good luck there from Aussie. But Mike will start on pole for the second race of the night with Charlie alongside him on the front row. Jay and John Boy on the second row. Now we have got to get ready for the race to start. Hopefully everybody's got the correct fuel, and obviously they should do, because in a qualifying session everybody is supposed to carry their regulated fuel loads, so everybody should already have enough fuel to get to the end. So there should be no dramas here, despite the fact that we go straight in the race. Just have to be ready to jump straight into the race, which is easy enough for these races, Imogo.
Well, it's a bit as simple as it can be. Like, you can't really ask them much else.
As we're underway, and that was a sleepy start there from Charlie, as Mike absolutely flew off the line. That BMW is quick enough anyway. When it's on pole position, you're not going to see it for a little while afterwards, but there he goes. Mike is off and away, as we can see. John Boy in second place. He's moved ahead of Charlie Goff. Jay there in fourth, as we see somebody wide. Somebody's got it horribly wrong there through turn one. Was that, it looked like it was Potter Brown there who went wide, so Potter Brown's dropped down to the back of the pack, but Mike leads into the old hairpin with John Boy nearly 2 seconds behind already, so Mike flew off the line. Oh, and Team MW gets sideways there, going through the old hairpin, and loses out to Nick Livida and Aussie Albie, but the damage has been limited quite well there from him, I've got to say. Craig looking to the inside here of Team MW coming through this next sequence of corners. Is he going to move ahead of him here? As there's contact, oh no! And that's Smokey there who's round. Smokey's having a torrid night here. And Big Blue also involved. So the race one winner involved in carnage here on this opening lap. Not the ideal situation for either of them. But Mike leads by 2 seconds ahead of John Boy as they come out onto the back straight for the first time. You got Charlie Goff attacking on the back of him with Jay there in fourth place behind him. And then the Mutts Nuts who completes the top five. But absolute chaotic start there to the race in. We've seen 2 drivers drop out of it. We've seen 1 driver make a mistake by himself. And currently Mike has just checked out here at the front. Look at this. His gap's already over 2 seconds.
Were you talking to Team Prolapse after that last stream?
No.
Because look, guess who just commented on the stream?
Oh no. Hello Team Prolapse. That's Nikki. I bet that's Nikki. Has to be. Welcome along to you.
That is rather convenient timing given what we were talking about during the last race.
Yeah, it is a bit convenient. Yeah, I have a funny feeling. Do you know what it is? The last time that Ian was in the comments was back before he was doing the comms with me. Ian and Team Prolapse happened to just appear in the chat on the same night. Bear in mind that I hadn't spoken to Ian in months at the time. I hadn't spoken to Team Prolapse in years at the time. And then out of the blue, they just appear in the chat on the same night. But yeah, hello Team Prolapse. Welcome along. It's been a long time.
Your ears must have been burning.
Absolutely, but yeah, you got both of us now on the mic, Team Prolapse. You got myself and Ian, the dulcet tones of the pair that used to commentate on the Formula Renaults and the LMP2s back in the day. Hope you enjoy. Hope you're happy to hear both of us. Giving you.
Nicky.
Yeah.
Ah.
Of course, it's Nicky.
Hi, Nicky.
What are Team Prolapse up to nowadays? I'm intrigued. I've actually seen bits and bobs. I know that you guys are on iRacing, is it now? I believe. I'm led to believe.
Wrong spelling, Nicky.
I've heard rumours.
Wrong spelling, Nicky. Realised, not one.
But I'll tell you what, we have got a really exciting battle shaping up in this mid-pack here. Mutt's Nuts currently leading the pack of cars, but Nick de Villa's all over the back of him. Nick's picked up an early penalty here in this race. You don't want to be picking up those penalties at this stage in the race here because they do really accumulate and they add up. And once you've got one, you tend to feel the pressure a little bit more. You feel like you've got to make up the time, which you're inevitably going to lose at the end of the race. So that's going to only add a little bit more jeopardy to the position that he's in, which might make him make a few more mistakes, and they could end up piling up here.
Well, losing the getting a time penalty. Yes, it loses your time at the end of the race, but at the same time, it puts you into that mentality. All right, I do not want to do that again. So at the same time, you kind of slow down, if you know what I mean. Absolutely.
Oh, it's Nick there trying to make a move. The Mutt's Nuts goes a little bit wide there, going through out of turn one. They're going to be side by side here through Hollywood. And the Mutt's Nuts has got the momentum there, just stays ahead of Nick de Villa for the time being. Ozzy's got a queue of cars behind him as Craig's got Charlie looking alongside him. Almost contact there between Craig and Charlie. Charlie has been involved in a few little skirmishes over the course of tonight, but for the time being has kept himself out of trouble in this second race. But Part Pooper there just behind them. Currently a big train of cars still from 4th all the way down to 10th place. You've got 7 cars battling it out over the same piece of tarmac. Ozzy almost tapping Nick in the back there as he looks to the inside into Coppice. He's going to try and send one, is he? Ozzy looking to make a move. Thinks better at that one. Nick a bit wide there coming through the mid part of Coppice as there is Craig, and Charlie's moving through ahead of Craig there up into 7th place. In the meantime,
looks like someone else has got a penalty as well.
Yep, that's the Mutt's Nuts there. Picked up another time penalty there. So, a few more time penalties being handed out now. Some of you might be sat there scratching your heads thinking, I thought you didn't do time penalties on Project Cars 2, Andy. What on earth is this all about? Well, we thought tonight with that final chicane that there could be... Oh no! And there's a crash there between Craig and Team MW coming into Red Gates, and they both end up on the gravel. Team MW, I think, might have tapped the wall there as they came into the corner. Craig there manages to continue on his way, but he's really struggling to get it back on track. And Team MW actually gets it going before Craig. But Team MW P10, Craig P11, those guys, their race has been blown, well, pretty much to pieces there.
Yeah, well, so we don't know. I think it looks like Craig actually came across Team MW there, and it's just with the physics of Project Cars 2, a lot of the time when you do that, it feels like your cars are just stuck together.
I know exactly what you mean, because I've been in that situation before with the touring cars quite a lot of the time. Although it's counterintuitive, when you end up crashing into someone, best thing to do is just momentarily steer into them and then quickly steer away, because it sort of generates friction and causes you to come apart. I found that's a way. Again, doesn't make a whole load of sense, but it's
Project Cars 2. Like
Project Cars 2, yeah, and it does work. But Nick de Villa looking to the inside here of the Mutt's Nuts into turn 1. Is this going to be job done here for Nick as he's looking to make it happen? Ooh! He had to back out of that at the very last minute, and Mutts didn't get a great run. No, he backed out of the move at the time, but he's managed to get a better exit out of the first corner than Mutts. Here we come through turn 2. Of his teeth there, but Aussie Albie now looking to try and capitalise on these two. He'll be smelling blood here on the back of this pack. I'll tell you what, these three are the only drivers in the pack to have a time penalty, and they're all battling with each other over 4th place, as John Boy has moved ahead of Jay up into 2nd. Oh,
Oh.
Aussie taking out some of the braking markers there. His fellow competitors will be cursing him for that. If everybody watching it, all the drivers, it was Aussie. But, sorry, Aussie.
You are correct on what pro laps are racing on. They're on R Factor 2 and iRacing. iRacing is just way too expensive though.
Yeah, I knew about. I think I knew about R Factor 2. I can't remember where I've seen you. I'm sure that I've seen you in places, but obviously it might have been. It might have been your YouTube channel. I think when the last time you commented on one of our streams, I clicked on your channel and I can't remember exactly. It's a while ago, but I mean, if you're on PlayStation still, then you're more than welcome to obviously jump in the leagues. We had a full grid here tonight. I think we had 15, so there would have been one space, but generally we've got spaces on Tuesday nights. For the GT4s, we've always got spaces. We usually only get between 10 and 12 drivers, so we are struggling on numbers there. If any of you guys fancy hopping in on Tuesday nights, we have got spaces for sure. Plenty of space in that one. Aussie Albi though looking all over the back of Nick the Villa as they come through Coppice. As Aussie there doing his fastest first sector of the, or middle sector should I say, of the race so far, but still can't find a way through ahead of these two in front of him. John Boy is actually lost out to Jay, so Jay's got back ahead of John Boy here in this battle for second place, and these two falling back into the clutches of the aforementioned battle that we've been seeing over the last few laps here. So this is now becoming a could become a 5-car battle if Jay and John Boy continue to take time off of each other here in second and third places. And we've got side by side here between Park Pooper and Charlie off into turn one. Park Pooper down the inside is going to make that one stick, is he? Oh no, Charlie managing to get the momentum there and gets himself back up into P7. Nicky's saying that could be a possibility. Awesome. I mean, a possibility is better than no possibility, so definitely that would be it'd be good to see you guys back out on track. I mean, obviously we've missed it was funny having the team pro laps in the community, wasn't it, Ian? Obviously there was a lot of colour, and that's, I mean, literally and figuratively, obviously, but yeah, there was a lot of good banter and it was good times.
Yeah, it was often hectic on track, but it gave a good show for everyone to watch.
Absolutely, and I think in cars like these as well, I think where you can have much closer battles, unlike maybe the LMP2s or the Formula Renaults, where it was always a bit hard to go wheel to wheel because the slightest bit of contact and there was no chance. You know, in these you can bang doors, you can sort of rub up against each other a little bit, and obviously, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like you can go toe to toe. So, you know, there'll be a more exciting, I think, for everybody involved. But nonetheless, we're still watching this battle going on for third place between the Mutsnuts, Jay, Nick, and Aussie, as well as Charlie and Park Pooper, who are still on the rear of this, what's now a quintet, because John Boy's broken away. Jay's made a mistake here. He's now dropped behind the Mutsnuts. So what happened to Jay? We're not quite sure what happened to Jay. Did you see Ian?
Unfortunately, I did not,
no. No, because Ian is actually watching through my perspective, so he's seeing exactly what I'm seeing in a pixelated version on a Discord video call. But Jay having a little feint to the inside there on the Mutsnuts, but can't make anything happen there going into that final chicane. Mike leading into turn one. He's got 7 seconds of a gap over John Boy. I think John Boy is not going to have much of a chance really to reel that in. I think that's game over there for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, it definitely seems to be that way.
Paul the Brown looking to the inside of Team MW into turn one. Nothing doing. Big Blue P11 at the moment. Obviously it was P1 in the first race, so he's gone from P1 to P11. But obviously he might be able to change that before the end of this race. Let's wait and see. But what a race we've had here in this second race. I mean, action everywhere that you look. Mike's just got up and gone. Reminiscent, I think, Emo Guy, of the race. Do you remember the race where... I always mention this race, Donington National. I just have to mention this. Do you remember the touring car race where you started near the front because you'd missed the first round of the season, and you just sort of got up and went off and led the race and won it. And I remember that race really well because I started in 16th and last, and because I'd won the first 2 races of the season the week before at Brands Hatch, obviously I had to start at the back due to the reverse grid for the championship standings. I ended up coming in 2nd behind you, and that was probably my best performance. That was one of the races that I'm most proud of ever on Project Cars 2, because I came from 16th to 2nd, but you won that race and you were about a good 10 seconds clear, I think, of everybody else, including myself, obviously.
Yeah, I think that was the case.
Yeah. He thinks he remembers it. He doesn't really, but he thinks he does. But he's not quite sure. To be fair, it was a very long time ago. It was about 3 years ago, so cut him some slack. Come on, he's not. His memory, he's not. I mean, he's. Yeah. You alright, buddy? You seem a little bit downbeat.
No, I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
So obviously Iain there shrugging off whatever's getting him down, so we're going to leave him to it now.
I'll talk to you about it after.
Oh, it's Jay looking to the inside of the Muttnuts there into turn 1. Ozzy trying to get around him here, but nothing doing. He's still struggling to make this happen here. But Muttnuts still holding on for a podium at the moment. Jay will pick up that podium place though on the penalties once all is said and done, into the old hairpin.
This looks like everyone is pretty much spread out apart from this small pack.
Yeah, this is the only battle out on track, but it is for a podium place. Now, we don't know what the severity of these time penalties are, so it could be that Mutts has got more than Aussie, in which case Aussie could be in a position to nick 3rd place off of him. But that's saying that, though, Aussie's got a penalty and Jay hasn't, which would mean that by default Aussie would definitely be behind Jay no matter what. We also don't know what the severity of Nick DeVitta's penalties are, but he was the first to pick up a time penalty in this race, so one would assume that if others have picked up penalties, he might have added to his tally, which would be catastrophic for him. But we're coming over the line here to complete lap 12, onto the final lap of the race here. As Nick weaving around there in the background, has he got a slowdown maybe, which could become a time penalty if he fails to slow down within the given window. So let's hope that he heeds that warning and stops doing what he's doing. But the Muttnuts still. Oh, sorry, mate.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Muttnuts is still clinging on for this position on the track. Is the Muttnuts' best strategy now to try and force Jay into a mistake so that he gets a penalty?
Well, given that we're now in the last lap, I don't really think that's going to make an option without losing any time.
Well, here they come into Coppice here for the final time in this 2nd race of the night. It's going to be Mike who comes out of the last corner, and he's going to take the win here. What a win from Mike. Absolutely dominant display from him. A flash to lights from the man in the BMW. We said earlier on that BMW potentially not suited to this Donington National Circuit. Mike has gone and absolutely blown that theory out of the water. John comes over to take 2nd place. Muttnuts holds on for 3rd on the track, and Jay actually didn't get him because Mutts pulled enough of a gap there in the final sector of that lap. So Mutts there 3rd, Jay 4th, Aussie 5th ahead of Part Pooper in 6th. Charlie 7th in the end, ahead of Big Blue in 8th, with Nick the Villa, who's already finished the race in 9th, Potler Brown P10. Team MW comes over loses out to Craig on the penalty, so Craig 11th, Smokey 12th. Team MW drops to 13th place in the end. Doris Steele, the last driver over the line to take P14. Dramatic race that was, and Mike, John Boy and the Muttnuts, your podium finishes here tonight, Iain, and that was spectacular.
Yeah, that small pack just did not want to get apart. It just seems like they just wanted to stick together regardless of what happened.
Yeah, they just couldn't really find their position. I suppose they're all just fighting so hard. As soon as you've got somebody in front of you, you step up a gear, don't you? It creates an emotion that I suppose as racing drivers we can all relate to. But nonetheless, guys, that is that for the 2nd race. We will be live very shortly for the final race of the evening. I'll be posting the link on Discord, so obviously keep an eye out for that. That'll be live in about 5 minutes time, and it will be a formation that with a reverse grip based on the results from this one. But yeah, make sure you tune in a second. We'll be back in a moment.